We literally have to let the refrigerator sit in bleach because it smelled so bad. We were all like gagging. Hey you guys, what's poppin'? So today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about something that happened to me quite a few years ago. This story is one of the main reasons that I did want to start this channel. It's a funny story, but it is unfortunate. I want to start off this video by saying that I am not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to come after anybody. It's just a funny story. It did happen to me. Honestly, when thinking about it, I probably should have thought about this before moving that far away from home, kind of committing to this living situation. I'm one of those people who doesn't even like to spend the night at people's houses. I'm just weird about that. It was a really small dorm. We did have our own bathroom, still a good size, but I wasn't used to sharing my living space with other people. So I had two roommates. We'll name them for the sake of the video, Brittany and Sarah. This story is mainly going to be about one roommate in particular, and that's Brittany. Me being from California, a lot of people had accents in New York, like New York accents, and she was one of them. You could hear her coming a mile away. Right off the bat after meeting Brittany, I could tell that she was very outgoing. She was about Instagram. Like, she was really into that, taking pictures, selfies, all that kind of stuff. So I thought we're gonna get along. From the get-go, it kind of did feel like we were gonna mesh well. Soon, I realized that we were really different people. The first week of me living there, we decided to go up to Brooklyn to look at some boutiques. Me moving to New York, I didn't know where I was going, so I was just kind of following her blindly. We've run into a cop and we kind of asked him, like, can you help us go to this street? And he basically told us that that street didn't exist and probably start turning back before we go further down on the subway into Brooklyn. I was like, we're gonna follow the cop's orders. Like, he's from here, he knows what's going on.
No. If we go up higher, I think like the next one, like, we'll catch all the boutiques at the top, and then we'll just be able to walk down the street and hit them all.
I was like, sounds good, Brittany. I followed Brittany's direction, even though the cop said that street didn't exist, we should probably turn back around. Brittany still wants to keep going. I trusted her. She's from New York. I'm not. So we get back on the subway. Again, the subway stations start getting significantly less populated. I kind of look at her, I'm like, we should get out here. Let's just go get out and look. The second we get out, I know something immediately is wrong. Looking around, there's not a lot of people. There was no boutiques. Brittany was in her full-blown designer getup, like had her bag, had her little Tory Burch sandals. She was rocking it, don't get me wrong, but this was just not the place to be rocking it. I was very new to the area, did not know where I was, so my anxiety was kind of through the roof. So I decided to find a place where we could sit down, kind of regroup. So we run into this little pharmacy and we go to the back, we kind of figure out where we are. We're so far into Brooklyn. We just missed so many stops. We probably should have gotten out maybe like 5 stops before. We were so deep in there that we didn't even know how to get back on the subway to find our way back. So at this point we had to get an Uber. So we both didn't have enough money in our cards to get us from where we were in Brooklyn to back home. We were panicking. I kind of had to call my mom and ask for money, which she was just not having. It was a holiday weekend, so I definitely wouldn't have gotten the money anytime soon anyways. So it was basically all on Brittany to get us out of this situation. She was able to somehow get her mom's credit card number, and we hopped in our Uber. We were on our way out of there. Definitely no boutiques, but we hit some stores and we made our way home. So that was my first experience with Brittany. Kind of realized that she didn't really know what was going on most of the time. So in the coming months after this incident, I started to realize small things about her that just seemed off. I heard that she asked one of our friends what continent we were in. She's a really pretty girl and she got invited on a lot of dates in the time that I was there. She got invited to go to this really nice steakhouse in New York, and she was getting ready all night and I was like, you look so good. You're gonna like just kill it on that date. And as she's leaving, she looks at me and says,
I don't know how to cut a steak. What do I do when it comes to me cutting the steak?
In that moment, it occurred to me that she is 18 years old and did not know how to cut food. And I asked her, what have you been doing your whole life? And that's when I kind of realized something's up with this girl. Another instance I had with her, she kind of would make passive-aggressive comments to me about how I didn't have any designer bags. She one time asked me,
do they make designer bags where you're from?
California? Which, I don't understand what she means. Have you heard of the fucking Kardashians? I knew it was very targeted to me because she literally said,
well, like, I just have never met anybody from California that like has those things.
I'm the only person she knows from California, so what are you saying? I mean, let's be real. She was borrowing my Urban Outfitters bag. Like, she obviously liked it. So after that moment, I just kind of realized she's not really in tune with, you know, her surroundings, you know, the world. There were a lot of times that she dragged me out of bed to do things I didn't want to do. So I had this really big paper due the next day, and I told her I didn't want to go out. She was like,
oh, let's let's go out. Like, we're not gonna be out long. Let's just go out to dinner.
She picks out this place and I'm like, okay, like I'll go to dinner. And I knew this would happen, but as we're out to dinner, she's like,
well, let's go to the club, like, that's, like, inside the dinner place. Like, there's a club next door, like, we should just go. Like, it's, like, connected. Like, we're already here. Like, let's go.
So at this moment, it's already late. I really don't want to take the subway back by myself. So if they stay, I'm going to have to Uber back. And I really wasn't down to spend $40 on an Uber. So I was kind of forced to be kind of like sitting there waiting around to see what they were going to do. We find out that there's a $100 cover fee for each person to go in. So they decide, I guess they didn't really want to party that much. So we all got on the subway. We went back home. She told me we were just going to dinner and then kind of flipped the switch, wanted to go party. And then I was literally about to be stuck Ubering all the way back home like at 12 o'clock at night by myself. Have to be up early in the morning for class. Still haven't finished my essay. She was just really peeving me at this point. The next morning, thank God, I finished my essay in time, went to class with little to no sleep, come back. The second I lay my head down on my pillow, I'm about to fall asleep. And then I, get a little tap on the shoulder. I'm like, no, that's not happening to me right now. I get another tap again. I turn over. It's Brittany's freaking face just looking at me and she's like,
what are you doing?
And I'm like, I'm going to bed now.
Well, like, I really need an Instagram picture.
Okay.
No, can you, like, take some pictures?
Like, it's not gonna take too long. It's an Instagram picture. I'll find the nearest brick wall. We'll shoot a couple outfits of the day and we'll be on our way back. So I leave and she literally looks at me and goes,
is that what you're wearing?
Yeah, I'm not taking any pictures of myself. I'm taking pictures of you. So I was like, ooh. But anyways, I still decide to help her. I find the nearest brick wall, like, on our block. She's like,
no, I don't like this wall.
Fine. So we keep walking down the street and I keep suggesting all these walls, like, this is a cute little space. She's like,
no. We
walk for like 10 minutes. We're like deep in Wall Street, like looking for her perfect photo, like, background. She finally found this place that she wanted to take a picture at. We started doing a little photo shoot in the middle of the street. She was posing and she's one of those people that photographs really well. So we kind of had a good picture within like the first 2 snaps. But we went on for like 30 minutes. She took the glasses right off my face, was like, posing with my glasses.
Get the taxi cab behind me.
She wanted the taxi cab, like a yellow one, posing it up. Brittany really was under the impression that she was in Gossip Girl. In this time that I could have been peacefully sleeping in my bed, I was out on the cold street taking pictures for her to post on Instagram. She ends up never using the picture. I don't know where these photos are. Wasted my time. Now this part of the story, I'm gonna need you to take a seat. This part of the story always makes me irate. From when I first started living there, I kind of noticed that this was an issue, but I never really understood why this was happening. My towels were constantly being used as bath mats. Me and my 2 other roommates each had our own set of towels. Like, it was very clear whose towels were whose. Somehow, my towels were always soaking wet on the floor after Brittany takes a shower. Sometimes I would come home, they'd just be on the floor. Like, I just didn't know, like, why they were there, who put them there. For the first couple times, I thought it was an accident. I just, like, didn't want to make a scene about it, especially because this is somebody who I have to live with. I don't want to make things awkward at all. So I would tell my friends back at home, like, listen, this girl keeps putting my towels on the floor. They're always wet. They're always gross. I literally bought bath mats. Like, there's no reason for this to be happening. So I told one of my closest friends from home about this whole towel fiasco. One day, it was me and Sarah, my other roommate, in our rooms, and I was FaceTiming my friend from home. Then her friend comes on FaceTime and says,
Bella, how's the shitty roommate situation going?
So my roommate Sarah clearly hears what was said. I freak out. My face starts twitching because I'm so nervous. It was this eye. And I was like, I like had the phone in my hand and I was like trying to mute it. I didn't know what else she was gonna say, so I'm trying to mute the phone. What do I do? Like, I don't want Sarah to think that I hate her. And I had not talked to Sarah about my feelings about Brittany at all in this situation. The damage is done. Sarah heard, so I just say, hey, we need to talk, like right there. And she's like, what? Listen, Brittany keeps putting my towels on the floor. It's really disrupting my everyday life. I was getting breakouts from my towels because I didn't know why they were like wet. Like, I didn't understand. Like, I don't know. By the 2 of us talking, we both kind of realized Brittany's kind of the source of the things that go wrong in our apartment. We started talking about how the refrigerator's literally filled with moldy pasta. She asked me if it was mine. I was like, no, that's not mine. I literally can only use the side of the refrigerator for my yogurts, and everything else, I don't know what it is. We both kind of figure out it's Brittany's stuff in there that's molding. Been there for 3 months. That night, we decide, no more of this. Like, we're throwing everything out in the refrigerator. Like, so sorry, Brittany, about your 3-month pesto pasta that your mom made you, but it's gotta go. We literally have to let the refrigerator sit in bleach because it smelled so bad. We were all like gagging. So after that point, me and Sarah kind of bonded over the fact that like she was driving me crazy. This girl would come home, eat salads, and just smack her food like you've never heard. She literally ate like a giraffe. Would smack her lettuce like that was my roommate when she would bring home her salad. And I could hear her through my headphones across the room smacking her fucking salad. So when she would start eating, I would have to leave or just like put myself in a different headspace where I mentally wasn't there. All this stuff was kind of getting to me. So the last week that I was in New York, I basically was like, I'm done with this shit. There was no reason for me to confront her at this point. I kind of already had it in my head that I wasn't going to be coming back. I was just gonna stay home. Maybe New York wasn't for me. Maybe it's time for me to show a little bit of my passive-aggressive side. One of the last days that I was there, I took a bath. I may or may not have used her towel as a bath mat, but that's neither here nor there. She's not gonna say anything. Like, what is there to say? She's literally been doing this to me all year. Like, it's fair game. Like, you use my towel, I guess I can use your towel, right?
Wrong.
The first thing she does when she walks into the bathroom when she gets home, she literally has the audacity to just peek her head out the bathroom and she goes,
Hey, why is my towel wet?
and I was like,
Yeah, like my towel was on the floor, like it's soaking wet, like it's kind of gross.
and I literally look at her and I go, well, you know, when you do that to my towels, I just wash them. And she just was like,
Oh.
and she walked back in, and that was the end of the towel fiasco. Okay guys, so that's the end of this week's video. That is my roommate story. Thank you guys for watching. I just want to say, Brittany, if you're watching this, no hard feelings.
Hang up your towels. Close your mouth when you chew your salad.
Yikes. I hope you're doing good out there. For those of you going to college, you really have to be living with a person in order to know what kind of living standards they have. You might think you're ending up with one kind of person. You can do all the research you want on a specific person, think they look great, but sometimes it just comes down to the way you live is just different and it's not compatible. And you know what? Everyone has different living standards and, you know, weird things and habits that they do, and sometimes they just don't mesh well. And no hard feelings, but I mean. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching this week's video. Leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back next week with more videos. Bye!
Sipping on booze in the house of blues. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali.
That's not good for my anxiety.